Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on Jon Trethewey, and he's got a show this week at Your Call, Bethnal Green. It's a good show lined up, and yeah, pleasure getting you on, Jon. It's been a while, but yeah,
always a pleasure being on, Sam. Hope you're good, mate.
all good, Jon. All good. Yes. Who should we talk about first? Should we talk about Josh Nutley? He's boxing Stephen Jackson. That's 4 rounds.
Yeah, Josh is back. He had his debut with us. It didn't go for him. You know, the journeyman came and he put up a really good performance. And yeah, that's all you really want to say about the first fight. But you got to give him credit. Straight back. You know, he's gone back in. He's had a week or so off. Gone in the gym. I want to get straight back in there and have another go. So he's coming back, and it'll be his first fight back. And I'm sure he'll want to right the wrongs of his debut at Your Call a couple of months back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was closing the gap the range quite quickly though, but he just got caught, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's boxing, you know. We never want our home fighters to lose, and Josh is a home fighter. He's our guy. But I guess sometimes it just shows how competitive the fights are. We pride ourselves on having shows where they're 50-50 fights, or, you know, both fighters are having a go. Not that it's just typical journeyman with a lopsided points result. But, you know, Josh, as you say, he got caught and that was it. But we hear that his training's gone well. He's regrouped, and I'm sure he'll make amends come Saturday.
100%, and he's boxing the experienced Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, you know, there aren't loads of them at that weight, Sam, because it's a smaller weight, right? So when you look around on matching, there aren't loads. So again, he's got an experienced guy, but he's in it. You know, he's boxing this, and that's what he's here to do. So he's happy. We put the fight to him and his management team, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll have that, not a problem."
And what weight's that fight at?
I haven't got the weight in front of me actually. I believe it's around about super bantam, in between bantam and super bantam, I think.
And that's 4 rounds, that one.
Yes, 4 rounds for that one. Yeah.
Good stuff. Next up, Ross Driscoll. I believe, is he making his debut? He's boxing Carl Sampson, 4 rounds.
Yeah, he is. And again, Carl's experience. Ross is debutant. Don't know much about him other than he's a debutant. He's out of the gym with Rod Julian and Ross Pearce. We got 4 of their fighters on the night, so they're going to be busy themselves. Have to stagger them fights throughout. But if he's like the rest of the talent in that gym, he'll be good. So really looking forward to seeing what he can bring, to be fair, around the lightweight division. And obviously that'll be a 4-rounder.
And of course, Carl Sampson is a very good opponent as well for your debut. It's not one many people would take on their debut.
Yeah, again, I think that's a sign of, do you know what? He's meant to be a good talent. We'll take that. That fight was put to them, and they were like, no problem.
And Carl Sampson, as we know, he's been on your shows a couple of times now, I believe, and he is you know, willing to cause the upset as well. So that should be a good fight for him.
Yeah, Ross will have to be careful. You know, it's his debut. I'm sure he'll have a little bit of nerves and stuff like that. But his team will have him well drilled. He'll know exactly what to come out to do, and hopefully puts on a classy performance.
Julia Levy, Sarah Odzagi, six rounds.
Yeah, that's it. 6-2. Again, Julia, she had her debut. I think it was on a Dean White show.
Yeah.
So I think we were meant to have it, but then for one reason or not, it didn't go through. So this is her first fight at Your Call and her second fight in the paid ranks. Seen her spar quite a lot. She spars and trains down at Peacock Gym. So I've met her a few times. Very pleasant lady. She works for the police actually. So I think she's got a few police people coming to watch on Saturday night. So that should be good. So the Your Call faithful better behave themselves is what I say. But apparently another good talent.
And I believe it's a rescheduled fight with Sarah as well, because she was meant to be boxing her.
Yes, that was not on my show. I don't know much about the opponent. Again, when we just mentioned Josh, there aren't many around that weight. Females at that weight, Jesus, there's just not many at all. So quite often, you know, you're going to go abroad. She'll be flying in on Friday. She'll weigh in on the Saturday. But yeah, we don't know much about her.
And she's boxed Laura Payne, if I'm correct. She boxed Laura on a show in, I think it was Hull. Can't remember.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think she's fought a couple of Brits. But again, like I said, because there aren't loads at that weight, you have to probably fly them in. So yeah, at least she's got some experience of being over in England, albeit not London.
And a step up to 6 rounds.
Was her first one not 6?
I can double check, but
I might be wrong. It weren't my show. I thought she'd done 6-2s on the Dean White show, but it might have been 4-2s.
no, it was 4 rounds and she got a stoppage as well.
Yeah, you know your stuff, Sam. You always get it right. Yeah, I didn't know it was a 4. So yeah, step up then to 6. Most females usually do 6-2s even on their debut because it's 2-minute rounds, not 3. I wasn't aware that the first one was a 4, so that'll be good for her. Get some more rounds under the bank, and if she stopped the last time, actually get in the rounds is probably going to be good for her.
Yeah, 100%. Louis Pachetti v Phil Williams.
Yeah, Louis is a top talent, obviously. What's he on now? Has he had 3? Is it now? Come on, you're the one who, yeah, you get it. And he likes to knock people out. We've seen that on our show. We saw it on the show at Selhurst Park. I was there watching him. I think he fought Toby Vermeer
Yeah,
on
that
the
was it.
Billum Smith undercard. He's a young lad. I think he's like 18, 19. He's marketable. He's not the biggest heavyweight in the world. I mean, he's not small. He shouldn't be a cruiser, but he's not a huge heavyweight. Athletic, and he can bang. A lot of support, a lot of noise around him. Let's see what he can do with Phil Williams. You know, Phil Williams is the journeyman at heavyweight. You know, he's had a lot of fights. All right, he might get beat a lot, but he don't get stopped very often, and it'd be very hard to do that. So if Louis can do that, that'll be a good benchmark, if you like, the yardstick of where he's at. There's big things coming for him. I mean, we're associated with a few other heavyweights that we know. Maybe come through this, and who knows, he might be in some 50-50s in a fight or two. But I expect Louis to go quite a long way, to be fair.
Yeah, same here. And of course, yeah, everyone likes a bit of heavyweight action as well.
Of course, yeah. A Saturday night showed that, right?
Yeah, what did before we get on to the next fight, what did you make of Dubois v AJ? I mean, you called it.
Yeah, I did, and I'm pleased you said it, Sam, because you've got text evidence that I even told you the round, I think, that was round 5. It's a standing joke with a lot of my friends that whenever there's a big fight and they ask me who's going to win, and I never get it right, I always get it wrong. There's even a WhatsApp group flying around with it's called Boxing Tips with John, with all my mates from childhood, because I never get it right. But I told everybody that I thought he would do well, and I predicted round 5. The round 5 bit's a bit lucky because it could have been 4, it could have been 6, it could have been 3. When you get it bang on, it's nice. But I know Dan, and he's young, he's more energetic. It's easy saying it now, but these are the reasons why I predicted it. AJ, I feel, as much as I love him and he's a flag bearer of the sport, what he's done to the sport in the last 10, 12 years is amazing. You know, he's made young lads get in the gym to want to be boxing champions instead of footballers. He's helped transcend the sport. So let's not take anything away from him there. And he's a 2-weight heavyweight world champion. But I felt ever since the Ruiz fight, whenever he stepped up to the elite level, where the opponent's game and at the same level, he looks nervous and apprehensive when he's getting hit, certainly when it's a combination. Everybody in the sport was telling me that AJ would win in 6 rounds. I just didn't see why everybody was saying that when it's not like he got rid of them other opponents in 6 rounds. You know, your Franklins, your Otto Warlins, Helleniuses. I think he did stop Hellenius, but and Ngannou, he's not a boxer. So whilst he had 4 good performances under Ben Davison, and he looked a lot better under Ben, so fair play to Ben. I wasn't so sure. Let's see what he's like at that level. And you know, first round, Daniel came out. He asserted the jab. He held the middle of the ring. He wouldn't be bullied. And every time AJ tried to come at him, he had something better. And then sadly, he was walking around with his chin very high, AJ. He got clocked at the end of the first round, and that was the end of it. Daniel kind of smelt the blood, and yeah, he deserved it. And I predicted the round, which is a complete one-off for me. I never get it right. But we wish AJ well. I hope he comes back in the ring and watch this space with Dan. You know, let's see what Dan can do now. You know, maybe he might get to fight Fury, maybe a rematch with Usyk. I don't see why not. The first fight, some say it weren't a low blow, some say it was. He's certainly a lot more experienced now. He's won the belt. Let's see if Usyk come and fought him at Wembley with them 90,000 fans behind Dubois. It might be a different story, but fair play to both guys. And it looked like a great event. I wasn't there. I couldn't get a ticket. Prices were through the roof. I got offered some tickets last week, and I thought I'd rather watch it at home with a better view because I'm not going to be right at the front where I'd want to be out of my budget. And yeah, the anyone I spoke to today and yesterday, the event was just immense, as I'm sure you'd agree. Great fight, great advertisement for not just British but world boxing.
Exactly that. Oh no, we already spoke about Ross. Oh, Tommy Murphy v Christian Lopez. That's 6 rounds, and good to see Tommy back.
Yeah, he's my lad, right? We look after Tommy, one of very few that we manage, because we just like to do the promotional side and put on the shows. He's a good talent, Tommy. You know, he's had one or two problems getting fights on for one reason or another over the last year or so. Had some medical things we needed to sort. That's all now been cleared. He's looking good. He's stepping up. He's got a 6 rounder. He's fighting one of these durable. I think is he South American Lopez? I might be wrong.
Mexican, I think.
Oh, he is Mexican. Okay, cool. So, you know, again, he'll be durable. It'll be hard for Tommy to get rid of him. If he does, great. But Tommy could do with these 6 rounds and see where we're at. You know, he's got a long time ahead of him. He's only young, Tommy. He had a few early fights where he was out regularly. You know, he's had a bit of a break. I think he probably needs another 2 or 3 of these fights, and then we'll be stepping Tommy up into title fights, probably middle part next year, I would have thought.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he hasn't fought since the one in at the where he fought in the Peacock gym in July. So it's been a bit of a while out, but good to see him hopefully get some. I wouldn't say ring rust because he's been training in the gym, but it'll be good to see him get some rounds under his belt against a very durable and awkward opponent as well.
Yeah, spot on, mate. I think ring rust is the right word. It's the first 6 rounder. That was over a year ago, that fight. He was due on a fight of ours. Something fell through. Then we were going to put him on a top tier card. There was some medical issues where paperwork wasn't done. Not his own fault at all. That's now been cleared. He's in the right place. He's had the good sparring. He's happy in the gym he's in. He's in with Sam Mullins in Churchill's. And let's see what he can bring us on Saturday. But he never lets us down. Always brings a good crowd, them QPR fans. And we wish Tommy well on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. And believe it's his first fight with Sam Mullins as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing with Tommy. You know, he hasn't settled in a gym for a while. I think getting that chemistry is so important. But a lot of these lads, Sam, they have to go out and have jobs and have to travel to training gyms. They might have a certain trainer they want to be with, but the travel might be too far, too long, too expensive. You know, and it's not like that they're earning the millions that your AJs and Dubois are, that you can be a bit more selective. So it seems like he's found a happy place where everything's going well. I spoke to him and his dad. I spoke to his dad today. You know, the camp's gone well. The noise is good. So let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mark Williams v Dylan Courtney, 6 rounds.
Yeah, first time for me, for Mark. I think what's his record? 3-0, is it? But he's not fought for us. I don't think he's fought for a while.
I mean, I checked his box rec, and I don't think he's boxed since 2019, is it? Or something like that.
Is it 5 years?
You're on mute.
He's obviously come back because he still thinks he's got something to give. He's with Mark Tibbs, which is credit to itself. You know, Mark Tibbs doesn't take on just anyone. It's a fantastic gym down there, so I'd expect him to be very good. He's going to fight a good journeyman here in Dylan Courtney. Dylan Courtney is, I'm sure he had who did he fight on ours? Balraj, Kara, and he nicked a draw there.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
It was a good fight, and you know, people expected Balraj to win that, so that shows you where Dylan's at. So he'll definitely give Mark some tests. Mark, obviously being inactive for 5 years, if you've just spotted and pulled that out there, it's almost like a debutant for him, I guess. You know, it's his first fight in a while, so I'm sure he'll be a bit nervy. But let's see what he brings. Hopefully, we've got some stuff penciled in for him for some fights down the line as well. But let's go one at a time first, because he's got to get through a very game opponent on Saturday night.
100%. Who else? Robert Vincent v Ilyas Latif, 6 rounds. And Ilyas fought Indabasi at the O2 Indigo, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. You're right. I think it's Ilias Leo Kaftos. That's how I pronounce it. Pleasant fella. I saw him obviously at the O2. That was our show. Rob Vincent, you know, Rob is part of the family. We got a few fighters like that. But what is he now? 7 or 8-0? You tell me. Yeah, you normally know these things. I think he's 7 or 8 now, Rob. But every fight has been with us. And he's work in progress, Rob. You know, he's excellent. Technically, he's fantastic. I say this in every time I talk about Rob, whoever I'm speaking to or whatever interview it is. He's trained by Bradley Skeet, and he fights like Bradley Skeet. Technical, and you can see that. Hopefully, a couple more fights for Rob. And again, similar to what we've just mentioned with some other fighters like Tommy. You know, they'll be the kind of fighters that will be looking for title fights for Southern area and maybe 1 or 2 more fights for Rob, I think.
Tommy Henschel v Josh Morris.
Yeah, Tommy's debutant. Again, don't know too much. He was signed with Lee Eaton, who manages him, and he's now with Al Wilkie. I think he's co-managing him / training him as well. Al's always had good fighters out of there, so he'll be ready. I believe he sold quite a few good amount of tickets, and we expect to see him put on a good display on Saturday. But other than that, mate, I don't know much about him. Never met him.
And of course, his opponent, he's only had the one fight, and he fought a Midlands champion on his debut. So I mean.
Exactly. So let's see. That could be a good scrap, you know. Josh come and have a go, and then Tommy is a debutant. Meant to be very skillful, Tommy. So let's see what we're getting.
Liam Dillon, former British champion, English and Southern Area champion. He's boxing Stefan Vincent over 6 rounds. Not, you know, the fight that was originally meant for him, but still good to get him on the card.
Yeah, of course. As you say, he's an ex-British champion. His last 2 fights, he come up short against Reece Bellotti.
And Ryan Garner.
Spot on. And Ryan Garner. The level those 2 fighters are at tell you where he's at. He was due to fight Louis O'Doherty in what was going to be an absolute cracker for a Commonwealth silver and an English eliminator.
Yeah.
Louis sadly cut his eye. There were 3 fights at 50-50s and titles on this that have fallen through. The good news is they've all been rescheduled. So Louis O'Doherty against Liam Dillon is still going to happen and will happen. That has not been announced publicly, actually, although we've had it in the bag for about a week. We'll probably get that poster done on that. It's going on the October the 26th show, which is starting to look like the best show we've probably ever done. When you look at the personnel on that, it looks a lot better than the O2, which was something to go by. So, yeah, we look forward to having that fight. Liam hasn't fought for a little while. Obviously, he's come off the back of 2 defeats. He didn't want a tune-up fight because he was going straight in with Louis, which I admire. But obviously, he was halfway through camp, 2/3 through camp, and the fight fell through because of the cut. He was selling tickets. It was like, well, do you know what? I'd rather fight than not. So he'll be out in a 6-rounder against Stefan Vincent. Not as competitive, no offence to Stefan, as what the initial fight would be. And I'd imagine Liam will come and do a good job there on Stefan and get himself ready for that big fight on October the 26th.
Stefan fights everyone, though. He's been in there with quite a few top fighters.
Yeah, he does. Listen, he's a very good fighter. Whether he's on the level of Liam or not so sure. Whether Liam's got it in him to stop him, I don't know. Whether Liam wants to stop him or not, I don't know. You know, Liam might want to get the 6 rounds under his belt and help him in preparation for the fight with Louis, but he wasn't initially going to have it. So, no, it's just good to still have Liam on the show, and credit to Liam because he's still fighting, which is important. And, yeah, we look forward to that and the big one in 4 weeks after.
100%. Who's your main event, Dujon or Jackson?
Billy Jackson against Senior Byfield. That's a Commonwealth eliminator and an English eliminator, so that will be the main event. But the other fight is a cracking fight as well. You've saved the best 2 till last there, pretty much.
So we'll talk about Dujon Summerbell first.
Yeah, sure.
Dujon 9-4, Tom Summerbell 8-0. Is it an English eliminator or?
It's not an eliminator. We put it in for it, just didn't get signed off for it, which was a bit disappointing because I've seen a lot lesser fights for eliminators be sanctioned. But that's off to both fighters. You know, it's disappointing when you don't get it, but they're like, well, we'll still fight anyway. You know, you got your home fighter in Jordan Dujon, whilst he's 9-4, and I think 4 of them defeats are probably coming in his last 5 fights, maybe. Look at who he's been beaten by. He lost early doors, I think, to Carl Fowle. No shame in that. Harry Scarf is another one. He's been beaten by.
He's European champ, though, isn't he? Or British champ?
Yeah, exactly. So these are quite, and Carl Fowle is of that standard, and we'll get there. So Jordan's not going to.
It's a good fighter.
Konstantin Ursu, excellent fighter.
Kingsley Ebenike, but he's also beat Kingsley at the same time, so they're 1-1 against each other. And he's got big wins, Jack Martin, Ryan Maycock.
Spot on. All those fights, what you got to do is testament to Jordan, is he takes tough fights. He does well in them. The ones he's lost, he hasn't been awful in at all. And some of them fighters are at a very high level. So there's still a lot to come from Jordan, and we expect that Saturday night. He's flying out to me on Monday to Texas for our show next weekend in Texas. So I need him to come through healthy at least. And of course, we want him to win being in the home corner. But Tom Summerbell, the way he's conducted himself, it's been amazing. He's from up north. He's with Dennis Hobson. Dennis Hobson is a business partner of ours and a close friend. Dennis films all our shows on Fight Zone, and we do shows with Dennis now. He's a good mate, so I almost feel like they're both our fighters. Tom's just gone about his business fine. He's doing his tickets up there. It's a long way for his fans to come down, but I think they've done a decent amount, so it'll be quite noisy with the Northerners on Saturday night. And who knows what that could be the fight of the night. But as you say, Tom Summerbell's 8-0. He's putting it all on the line coming down to London without a title on the line. You've got to give him credit, and credit to Jordan for taking what looks like another top fight on paper.
Well, same with Jordan. I mean, he's coming off a few defeats, but he's going straight back into the deep end.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, where do you go when you've had these big fights? Do you keep going back and having 6 round with journeyman? Not just Jordan, any fighters. There's lots we deal with. And so when someone gets beat, they think, "Oh, I need to rebuild," or "I've got to." He doesn't need to rebuild. We know where Jordan's at. Maybe with a bit more luck in some of them other fights, he might have gone on that bit further. But this is his chance here. Go and beat an 8-0 and shoot up the rankings a bit more. Then maybe he'll get a big fight, hopefully with us, if not on a bigger platform, where he can go and nick one of these big belts, because I still think he's got it in him, Jordan.
Yeah, it makes for a very good fight, that one. Moves us on nicely to your main event of the evening. You've got Billy Jackson, a senior Byfield, for the English, not for the English, an eliminated for the English and an eliminated for the Commonwealth. Big fight.
It is a big fight. Billy Jackson in home corner. He's undefeated. He's out of Rod Julian and Ross Pierce's gym. Excellent fighter. We've had him before. Sells a lot of tickets. Quietly confident. He don't go shouting around on Instagram and doing loads of bits. But he just turns up, sells a lot of tickets, and does the job. A senior Byfield is a big step up for him. There's a lot of people around the sport that really rate a senior. Maybe hasn't gone as far as what some thought they would, but again, credit to a senior. He's taking it. He's in the away corner. He's gone with the eliminator, and that will be a cracking fight. I really can't pick that, to be fair. A bit like the Dujon one, hard to pick the winner of those 2 fights.
100% there, 50-50, and big title eliminators as well. Are they final eliminators or just eliminators?
They're eliminators.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Is that super well to that one?
It is indeed, yeah.
Good stuff. What time is it getting streamed, this one?
Yeah, it'll be on live on TalkSport, as a lot of our stuff is. We got 5 shows in 5 weeks coming up, so we're really busy. Back-to-back weeks at your call. So it's on Fight Zone and TalkSport this Saturday night. So make sure you tune in if you haven't got a ticket. The following week on the 5th, we've got a double bubble show on Fight Zone and TalkSport. You've got your call where it will start at 5:30. That'll finish about 11, and then the cameras go over to Texas, where we're doing our first show abroad, where it's UK versus America, all 50-50 fights.
So where are you going to be, your call or over there?
Which one sounds more glamorous? I love your call, but I need to go out the sunshine. It's 30 degrees out there. So on this weekend, I'll be at your call. Next weekend, it'll be the first show that I've never been to of my own. I think we've done 44, 45 shows now. So I'm really disappointed I'm not there, but it just so happened they fell on the same night. But because of the time difference, and Texas is 6 hours behind, by the time it's finished at 11:30, their clock will go back, and it'll be about 5:30-ish in Texas, straight through on TalkSport and Fight Zone. It will go on to the Texas show, which we urge everyone to tune in, because we're taking 6 British fighters out there for some real 50-50 fights. So if you're a diehard sports fan, next Saturday, the 5th of October, that's your night. You've got about 10 hours plus of live back-to-back boxing with all TM14 promoted fighters.
100%. What time do the doors open Saturday?
5 o'clock.
And first fight, roughly?
5:30.
Okay, good stuff, John. And I hope to see you down there, mate.
Yeah, are you coming Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good man. I'll see you Saturday night, mate. I look forward to it.
And thank you for your time as always.
No worries, mate. Anytime. All right, bud.
All right, see you there, John.
Catch you later, Sam. Bye-bye.
Bye.